Today we are doing sales for business, and we have Daniel Mendez and Raesheena on here today to speak to us about sales. We're gonna start with Raesheena. She is going to. I'm actually gonna screen share, so just let me know that you guys can all see it. All right, can y'all see that?
Yep, we can see it.
All right, sounds good. I will let you take the floor, Sheena, for your 9 marketing words. Can't hear you, love.
Oh, you're muted, Rashina.
Oh my God. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. So I just want to start out with just a little information and background about myself. My name's Raesheena Duncan. I've been in sales for about 11 years now. I started my business about 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. So been in the field for a long time. So I understand, if people are trying to start their new business, it's pretty hard. It's not easy, especially getting traffic to your website or your social media. That's probably the toughest part. So, a lot of people, I have a YouTube channel, and a lot of people always come to my social media and ask me, well, how can you help me? Give me some advice on, starting my new business, or, just any tips I can give them. And the number one things, guys, that you have to know about starting a business, social media is a great platform. Use it. We go on there for other reasons anyway. Use it, take advantage of it, be consistent. I've seen so many good businesses go under just based upon people not being consistent. I sell accessories, I sell jewelry, I make my own jewelry, I have a extension line now. If you're not posting all day every day, it's not going to happen. People don't know who you are, they don't trust you. You have to be consistent with posting. So if you sell a particular item, I don't care if you don't get any sales, I don't care if people don't like it. If you consistently post all day every day, it's going to happen. When I first started selling my stuff, it took me probably a month before I got my first sale, but I was consistent. I was posting stuff all day. People would start asking me questions like, "Oh, okay, how much is this?" Or how much. They didn't buy, but they were asking questions, which let you know that they were interested. People aren't going to ask you anything if they just don't care. But what they want to see is consistency. Just think about it. If you, like, let's say I want to get my hair done, and they say, "Oh, go to this girl's page. She does great hair." I go to her page, and she only has two posts of hairstyles. I'm not gonna get my hair done by her because you're not consistent with the photos that you're putting out. I have to know that this is an actual business. I have to know that your work is good. So if I'm not consistent with putting the things out that I'm selling, people aren't gonna buy from you. It's just as simple as that. So, being consistent is one. Second, networking. You have to talk to people. You have to get your name out. When I go out, people say, "Oh, where did you get your hair from?" I sell hair. Here's a card. I go leave my cards at a nail shop or a currency exchange. I don't care where I am. I'm gonna I'm gonna leave my information there. So you have to know how to talk to people and network with people. We talk to people all the time. Put yourself out there, okay? So that's another thing. Now, YouTube is a great platform as well. I don't know who has YouTube channels or not. I do. It's not like I got a whole bunch of subscribers, but it works. I've done. You guys want to do free giveaways or do raffles. That's another good way to get yourself out there and have someone. You can give something free away, and that'll make them come back to you and purchase something or tell a friend. So it's little things like that can really help you and make you successful in this business because it's not a hard thing. It's just you have to put in the time, you have to put in the effort. Also with websites, if you don't have the money to spend to get your website built, by someone, you could go to one of the free websites. Start a little website just so it's a lot of people that come to me. Well, do you have a website I can go to? They want to see something more legit. So think about maybe building you a small website just to get out there. If you're not, a lot of people don't like using social media for their business. It just depends on what kind of business that you actually have. So um if you see the 9 marketing words that I put up here, these are just some things that have helped me out in the past. Like when it comes to promoting on social media, when you say the word free, customers love free things. So that's why I said maybe doing the promotions or raffles. I did Facebook Lives before, and people put in $5, $10, and then I would pull their name out, and whoever name got pulled, they would get whatever the promotion was for. Try that. Discount. People love discounts. When I started my hair business, I gave every customer 15% off for their first order. People love discounts, of course. So, maybe try that. Limited offer. When you hear the words limited, people think they got to hurry up and get it, or there's not. It's only a certain amount left. So these are trigger words that people look for, or when they see, it would help them, move a little faster, if you shall say. Another one that I really use, this deal. I'm doing this deal right now. I sell. One of the things I sell my business product. So it's been plenty of times I've said, get this deal right now. It's not going to be available, after this date. Oh, people hit me up right away. Oh, I got to get this. I didn't know that you weren't going to be selling it for longer, for a long amount of time. So, you have to kind of find, um, just funny ways of doing things, just as far as marketing, also, if you're starting a new business and you haven't really had any customers. When I first started selling my stuff 3 years ago, I sold to friends and family, okay, or people at work. So when the people at work, when the people at work used to buy my stuff, I would make them send me a text message and say, thanks for I love it, thank you, I'm gonna shop again. And then what I would do is I would just screenshot it and I would post it on social media, because another thing people are looking for, when it comes to buying stuff, they want to see reviews too. So I always post reviews. I don't make people send me reviews, but a lot of people do. But yeah, post your reviews. If someone sends you a text message like "Thanks for the whatever," I really loved it. Post it on your page. People want to see that. I'm gonna say, "Oh, okay, she got people that likes her hair, or she has people that are buying from her consistently." So make sure you guys are doing that. But definitely use Facebook, Instagram. It's free. Why not? And then if you can, or if you can't, get a website. You can, or you can't. If not, just use the social media. So, yeah, just use the social media. So it's not, I want everyone to be successful. It's not as hard as we think. We just have to put the time and energy into it. I know we all have families. We have a lot of stuff going on. We work. This is just like a side thing for me. It's not a career, but one day I wanted to be, one day I wanted to be, but we have other stuff that we have to focus on. And I understand that, but we have to be consistent. Just do whatever you're selling. I promise you, if you post it and be consistent on social media for a month, you'll at least get one deal out of it. At least one deal. So try that, and see how that works. And I'm always around, guys. Like, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook. I can give you guys that. If you ever have any questions, or need advice, or if you're looking for vendors, I can always help you guys with that.
Okay.
Sheena, why don't you tell them a little bit more about what it is that your business is, so that they know?
Yeah, so I sell like accessories, handbags, sunglasses. I mean, anything you can really, phone cases, accessories, and then I make jewelry. I make bracelets. Um, so I sell bracelets, and then I have a hair extension business, La Chic by Sheena Hair. So anything that you can really think of, I can I can really get it for you. And another thing is too, when you do build your clientele up, because right now I'm out of the stage to where I post every day. I did that in the beginning, but now I have customers who just come to me. I had about just today, maybe 8 people. Hey, I need this. Can you get this? So after a while, and you build that customer service up with people, people are going to come back regardless. Like, people buy from people that they like. So customer service is a big thing too. When my shipments come out, I make sure, or when I ship things out, I make sure I send that tracking number right away. These are little things. This is just common sense. So I've ordered from people before, and I don't even get a tracking number. This stuff just comes in the mail. That's so unprofessional. Make sure that you're sending tracking numbers out, guys. When the package is on its way, I keep my customers up to date with where their package is, especially when it's coming through like DHL or FedEx. I'll screenshot them and say, "Hey, your package is going to be there on this day." People like that because no one does that. people, I'm telling you right now, I have not posted, um, just like consider how I'm telling you guys to do it in the beginning. I haven't did that in a while. People just really come to me now because I'm the only person that they buy from because they trust me. I have good customer service. That's it. That's all. So, um, yeah, when you build it, and if you guys already have like clientele, do something special for your clients. I always make some, make people feel special. It's so many people out there. They'll be like, "How much is this?" I'll lie and say, "Oh, it's 250, but for you, I'll make it 180." Whatever it was probably was already 180, but I'm making that person feel like they're special because I'm saying, oh, it's really this price, but for you, I'm gonna go ahead and give you this discount. So it's certain things that you can do to kind of build that clientele up. Just be consistent, have good customer service, show trustworthiness because people aren't gonna buy from you if they don't trust you. So many scams going on. Everyone knows that people are doing so much cricket stuff on social media. So we have to, just make sure we provide that A1 customer service. It really makes a difference.
How long were you doing your business before you got your website? I'm curious.
I just got the website and I've been doing this for over 3.5 years. And the only reason I did the website is because people kept asking me, well, where can I go online to look at your stuff? That's the only reason. I've been doing this off of Facebook and Instagram since it started.
Okay. And how long were you posting like every day before you
Every
drop?
day, all day long. When I say from when I woke up until when I went to sleep, I literally posted all day long. You know, people want accessories, people want the latest fashion. It sells itself basically. But yeah, I posted all day long. I was on social media all day anyway, looking at other people's pictures. If I'm gonna be on Facebook all day, I might as well put that energy into my business.
Right.
That's all. You know what I mean? We're on there all day anyway. Post your stuff. Post your stuff. Get your name out there.
So did you like when you posted your stuff, were you just posting like the merchandise or were you posting anything else with that?
Just the merchandise. I would put my pricing, on what I posted. And the reason I do that as far as put pricing, a lot of people don't. Um, but the reason I put my price in there, it kind of dim downs everyone in your inbox. Well, how much is this? How much is that? You don't have to ask me that because it's on the post. So I always put my prices on whatever it is that I'm posting. But I did have a young lady. She bought my vendors list. Maybe about a month and a half ago, and she was in communication with me. I would see her on Instagram. She would be posting all day. She was getting kind of frustrated because she wasn't getting any sales, and I'm like, just keep being consistent. It's gonna come. She actually hit me up last week. She got her first sale. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it takes some time. It's not gonna happen right away, but if you're consistent, it's gonna happen. People are gonna see, oh, okay, she's really doing this. It's gonna happen. Just try it. That's all it's gonna happen. Just try it. So, yeah, guys.
Well, I
What
appreciate you
else?
coming on to speak with us. Does anybody else have any questions for Sheena? All right. Well, I will let Danny start off next. He's actually Danny and I work together at a company that shall remain nameless. and and we did a lot of sales for insurance. And Danny actually started a business doing insurance sales, and he's now in the tech world. But he's probably the best salespeople that I know, along with Raesheena. So that's why I wanted to bring them on today. So I will let you take it from here, Danny.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And first of all, Sheena, that was awesome. Thank you for all that great information. I'm probably going to piggyback a good amount of it,
Thank you.
but that's some good stuff right there. And then Marilyn for doing this thing that you got going on here on Mondays, putting people together like this is awesome. So thank you both for
Yes,
the
it is.
invitation. Thank you for everything. So yeah, my name is Danny. You can just call me Danny. Is fine. I have been doing sales for a very long time, probably over 15, 20 years almost at this point. Um, I did have a few ventures, so I took kind of that sales approach. So me and a friend of mine, we actually started our own business back in 2011. I was doing door-to-door sales for cell phone service at that time with the new cell phone company that was starting. So we kind of branched out. We actually got our own store. I was doing door-to-door. We had people going to the store. That was okay for a little while, but that didn't work out. So then here we are. I met Marilyn. We ended up working together. And then from that, I did take that health insurance. Me and a couple of friends, we went off and started our own agency. We did that for almost 3 years. Unfortunately, during that time, I did lose one of my partners just out of life. Just life happens. Unfortunate, unfortunate incident. And that kind of just changed the dynamics of the whole business. And so because of that, I kind of had to make a decision, made a decision, moved on. I did join the tech world, actually got my A plus cert. And I'm trying to move into networking with that. And that's what I'm leveraging into my business right now. So right now, what I'm trying to do is right now I'm a your computer savant. So if you have a computer issue, you need something fixed, you don't know what's going on with your computer, something like that, that's what I can kind of do. I can do either hardware or software. And I'm trying to build that now into a business. And what I've really realized is from the businesses that I've gone through and everything else is even though I'm in a different industry, I mean, I've gone from health insurance, I mean, selling cell phones, now I'm doing technology, and it's all still sales at the end of the day. Like I'm doing something different, but I still got to sell myself. I got to sell my service. I got to make sure people are happy with it. And this is all kind of going to harp back on a lot of the stuff that Sheena was talking about as well. But one of the big things, if my story shows you anything, is that it's not going to be perfect. Having a business is hard. It takes up a lot of your time, and it's not always successful. And you have to be okay with that. That's one of the biggest things you have to be. You have to be okay with it not going your way. You have to be okay with, maybe the business is going to fail, and that's okay because that's a learning experience. You learn from it. You take what the mistakes that were made, and you move that into the next chapter, and then you use that to grow, and you continue growing. That's one of the things you have to do. You have to persevere. You have to push forward because it's not going to be easy. There's a lot more tough times, but going through those tough times is what's going to, when you get to that other side, it's going to make it well worth it. So that's the biggest thing that I can start with. Is you can see just my career progression. You have to keep pushing, and I want it. I definitely do. I want a business that is going to end up being successful and everything else, and I'm going to get it one way or another. It's going to take me a while, whatever, either way, but that's what you got to do. You got to get pushing. So and kind of like on that same level. So, and that's where you have to really have that confidence in yourself. And this is where I like to talk about kind of dehypnotizing yourself. So, and follow me on this for a second. So if you think about yourself right now and somebody asks you to do something and you can't do it. So automatically it's like, oh no, I can't do that. No, I'm not going to do that. No, I can't. Whatever it is that I need to move, I need you to move the fridge over. Right? No, I can't do that. The fridge is too heavy. I'm not going to do it. Right? I just can't. Like, your limitations or whatnot, but that's where you have to really train yourself to get past those limits, right? If you think about a hypnotist, for example, so he pulls someone randomly from the audience, he gives them a few words, swings a little bell in them, all of a sudden they're hypnotized. The next thing you know, they're doing things that you would never think that a person like that would do. They're lifting weights that are super heavy, like nothing, because they're hypnotized. They're holding their arms out for extended periods of time for no reason at all, because they're hypnotized. So what does that tell you? That should tell you that it wasn't the hypnosis or anything else that did it. You can do it. You have the ability there. Your body is still your body. So you're doing it, but you're trained or you have that mindset already that you can't. So then you're not going to be able to. So that's one of the hardest things to get over, but that's where you really want to try to dehypnotize yourself. You have to push. You can do it. Whatever it is that you're doing, you're making that sale. I am going to make that sale. Like that story Sheena told us about that girl right now that, she kept pushing, and bam, there you go. She got that first sale, and it's going to start rolling like that. But it kind of works with getting that fear out of you, right? So getting that restriction out. I'm not going to be able to do this. I don't think I can do this. I don't know if I'll be able to. Yes, you can do it. You're going to be able to do it. You have to have that confidence. You're going to be successful to do it. That's what's going to give you the drive to keep moving forward and to continue to try to work on that business and find different ways to make that business work. So that's one thing, mindset, huge, right? So you got to try to dehypnotize yourself in that type of sense, if that made sense to everyone. Hopefully it did. Couple other things to touch on, that I kind of already touched on. The difficult, excuse me, the difficult times, relish them. You want them. You want stuff to be hard, because when you get over something hard, when you look back on it, you realize how not hard it was. How it wasn't really that hard. It was just an obstacle in the way, and you get over it. So you gotta be thankful for those difficult times. You have to be patient. I can't even express the patience. I mean, I've been doing this. I'm trying to start my own business. I'm on business number 3, and I've been doing this for about, what is it, 2021? So like the last 10 years or so, I've been trying to start a business. And I'm sure that there's people that would have been like, all right, I'm good after the first try. Maybe in the second try, like, I can't, I'm not even gonna go. But that's where you have to be patient. Not everything comes out the way you plan, but that's where and this kind of leads to my next point, is having that foundation around you, having good people around you. If you have anybody that is a support for you, you are blessed, lucky. Use that. Having a support system behind you is so big. And don't be afraid to change that support system if you need to. If you notice that you have a business partner that isn't pulling their weight, isn't doing what they're supposed to be doing, or whatever else to help the business grow, don't be afraid of changing that partner. Don't be afraid of changing the people around you. You don't have to stay stuck because you guys all made an agreement, like, okay, we're doing this together, and all right, so even though I'm putting in more work and I see that, my guy over here is doing this, but you're not doing as much, it's cool. We're going to live with this type of thing. No, this is your business. You own it, you drive it. And if the people around you aren't doing what needs to be done to make that business grow, don't be afraid to make the change. It's difficult conversations as you'll have. More than likely, these are friends, because a lot of times, you don't start businesses with random people on the street unless, you could, and that's fine. But a lot of times it's somebody that somebody that you've had some sort of communication with, some sort of contact with. So that's a difficult conversation to have. It's hard to tell somebody that you have any sort of care for, that, hey, I'm going to need you to back away, or what, this isn't fitting, this isn't right, or whatever it is. But you have to that goes back to that whole getting over the fear, dehypnotizing yourself. You have a goal, you have it in mind. You have to put everybody and everything around you to get to your goal. If people need to change, that's okay. Make the change. Don't be afraid about it. You know, Feelings will get hurt, and that's fine. But if they understand what you're telling them, they know who they are. They know what's going on, so they should be understanding as well. But don't be afraid of that too. Have that support system around you. If you have anybody there, awesome. Um, Keep that. Um, just a couple other things I'd like to touch on. And it kind of speaks back to what Raesheena said. So that law of averages, just keep going, keep posting, right? You're going to keep posting online. You're going to keep knocking on those doors. You're just going to keep up, because eventually somebody's going to bite. You just have to, it's going to happen. You just have to keep going. That's the consistency that Raesheena was talking about earlier. Consistent, you have to be on it. Those law averages definitely work. That's what got me through door knocking. I first started knocking on doors way back when. I thought that was silly. I was like, get out of here. I'm going to be knocking on doors all day. How am I supposed to make any money like this? There's no way. And it was a minimal amount of people I needed to touch to make good money, but I didn't even think I could do that. But, of course, I had my friend jump in there, and he just kept, no, you can, you can, you can. That's where that mindset, you got to change. Okay, fine. And yeah, you just go around knocking on doors, and I knocked on blocks, on blocks, on blocks, and I was surprised at how successful that is. But that law of averages speaks volumes. You have to keep um, consistent. And then when you have the people, you do have to leverage them. Leverage them as your referrals. That's going to be your base, right? A lot of your startup, when you're starting your business, like for my computer gig, for example, first person I took care of was my friend's mom. She needed an update on one of her RAM. She needed to update some RAM on her computer because it was super slow. She heard that I just was trying to do that, and that was my first client, and that's how it's going to be, right? And I was able to leverage that. I helped her out really well. She liked it. I got 2 more people from her who had computer issues, just like that. And that's what's going to start. You're going to start with the people that you know. Like, you don't know anybody else, so you're going to go to the people that you know. But even 2 people that you know, If they know 2 people, that's 4. They know 2 people, you're up to 8. They know 2 people. It just keeps going, and and little by little, but you have to leverage your contact, leverage the people that you have. Anybody you come in contact with that has anything to do with your business, whether they ask a question, whether they buy something, whether they just want to know more about your business, that's a great person or point to leverage for additionals. Hey, so I noticed that you were looking at my stuff. Thank you so much for checking out the site. Feel free to, pass this website on to anybody that you may know in case, if you don't find anything, they may be looking for something or other. Either way, anytime you make a contact with someone, that's an opportunity to make a contact with somebody else. And all that is going to do is bring more people, more networking, eventually more business. So you want to leverage those. The internet, I can't even harp on it enough. I think Raesheena talked about it always, so I'm not even going to get into it that much. But the internet is huge. Like, you have to do it. Like, you can't even get around it. Like, it's such a big tool for all business and everything that's running right now. It's impossible for you to try to want to do something without having some sort of online presence. You have to have some sort of digital presence. If you're not comfortable making a website, that's fine. Facebook is easy. Twitter is easy. Instagram is easy. But those are huge still. They have huge followings. You got people that millions of people every day goes on those. You have to leverage those because that's if you use it properly, that's essentially free marketing for you. You know what I mean? You're not paying for Facebook, you're not paying for Instagram, you're not paying for Twitter, and you can post whatever you'd like on there. And so essentially that's free marketing. That's money that you're not spending to still get your name out, to still get your word out. Hey, share my post, share this link for me, throw it out there to all your friends, bomb them. They're going to hate you for it, whatever. You get alerts every day. I'm going to give you more alerts because the ones it'll get to, and it'll eventually find someone, and you have to leverage those. So internet is huge. I can't even internet. Please leverage it in some way, shape, or form. You don't have to be super comfortable with it. You really don't. You don't have to go out and make fancy web pages. You don't need none of that. You want to do that? Awesome. There's great tools out there to use them. But even something as simple as just a Facebook profile for your business is huge. It gives you just a way to digitally communicate with your consumers. It gives them a way for them to leave feedback for you too, because that's another thing too. Feedback, you want that. Like, you want to touch every person and you want them to give you a referral. You want them to leave feedback too, because that's going to get other people to look and be like, yep, I purchased this from this person, great purchase, got it on time, they sent me confirmation, they sent me a picture, went above and beyond, loved it. Somebody reads that, 10 people read that, 2 people are going to do something about it. They're going to be like, yeah, you know what, that's cool. You know what, let me go ahead and check it out. And even if out of those 2 people, 1 person buys, that's fine. That's what you want, because little by little, it's just going to grow, and it's going to grow that way. And that's what you want. Just a couple of other things that I think I kind of already touched on it in terms of attacking fear. You got to attack it head on, but we kind of went through that already. You just I cannot tell you enough how much self-confidence drives you. Like, just even if you don't even believe that what you're telling yourself, like, I can do it, and you're sitting in your mind, bro, you can't. I can do it. You say it out loud, I can do it. You say it proud, I can do it. You're going to end up doing it. You're just going to do it. It's that manifestation. You're just putting it out there, and it's going to come back to you, right? And so it's like it's just getting over that fear of the I can't or the unknown. I don't know if this is going to work or not. That's fine. If it doesn't work, it's okay. It doesn't, I'm sure, it sets you back a little bit or anything else, but it's minor setbacks and they're learning opportunities. And then you put it on and you move forward. Another thing you're going to want to do, and this is just, we're going to kind of go off topic, is when you're dealing with the consumer, you're going to want to build rapport with that consumer, right? Anybody that you're talking to, you have to build some sort of rapport, some sort of connection, because even if they don't buy anything from you, if they liked you, that could be enough to get them to, like, hey, you know what? This person was really cool. They were telling me about their website, and, they sell, I don't know what, you should probably check it out and see. I heard you needed one of those things. Go check it out. You know what I mean? But building rapport is huge, right? And there's a lot of ways you can do it. One of my biggest approaches, and I think it works just across the board is just be you, be real. And that's what a consumer wants more than anything. It's not, they don't want that salesman, they don't want that car salesman, they don't want that pushy one that's gonna, not really listen to the need or whatever. I'm just trying to get you in this nice shiny red car over here. Please come to this shiny red car. Yeah, I know you said you want the blue. Come to this shiny red car over here, right? Nobody likes that. Having a real conversation with someone, and that's where you don't have to be, keep it professional, of course, but you don't have to be uptight. You don't have to just, try to use proper English or the same language. It's okay to read your audience. If you have somebody who's speaking to you in slang and, they're using X terms, don't be afraid to use that same terminology right back on them. You know what I mean? Have that, it not so much that you're mimicking them, but that sort of tonality, keeping that conversation kind of the same. It makes somebody comfortable, right? So, hey, yeah, man, I want to get this thing over here, but I'm not sure how that all works. Explain that to me. Oh, yeah, I got you, my guy. Look, let me explain this to you. So it's going to be this, this, and this, or whatever else. Or if somebody comes up, excuse me, I need a little bit more information on this. I'm not sure how that's going to work. No problem. Let me go ahead and give you the information that you need. So the way that's going to work is whatever, whatever, whatever. Either way, however they come at you, come at them the same way. But you have to be real. They're going to, whether you're on the phone or in person. In person is different because they're going to read body language and everything else, so there's a lot more that goes into it. But whether you're talking to them or on the phone, especially on the phone, if you don't have them face to face, they can hear. You hear the inflections, you hear all that in your voice. When they hear that you're real, when they hear that smile, they ease up, they get comfortable. That's when you can start having conversations. That's when you want to uncover. When you're having a conversation with someone, what drove you to my site? What drove you here today? What had you looking at where's the need? Because that's what you're trying to uncover is, okay, so you came here for a reason. What is the need? Right? Because what you want to do is address that need. That's at the end of the day, what's going to get you any type of sale, anything that you do. Anybody that goes out to buy something, they buy it because they either need it or they want it. If they're coming to you and they tell you they have a need and you can fulfill that need, that's a marriage made right there. Why wouldn't they get it from you? Right? Like, hey, I need this, this, and this. Oh, well, I have A, B, and C. Here you go. Oh, well, great. Awesome. Right? I address the need. You have the need. And that's where you won't find or you won't uncover the need of the customer if you don't have any type of rapport with them. If you don't try to break that ice at the beginning, be yourself, just be that real individual with the consumer, it's going to be hard to get that real need out. They're going to have that wall. They're not going to be as engaged. You got to kind of put them at ease. They're going to hear that smile. They're going to see your smile. Listen. Don't overtalk. Don't assume. Just listen. Sometimes you just have to listen. Let them tell you whatever it is they want to tell you, good, bad, or indifferent, especially when it comes to your business. If they want to give you any type of feedback on your business, good, bad, or indifferent, take it all in. And you love every word of it. If it's all negative, thank you very much for that negative comment. I'm sorry that you feel that way. I will make sure that we get that rectified here. You know what I mean? But you want it. You want the negative because you need to know. Like sometimes you're just so you're so ingrained into your business, you're so involved. Sometimes you don't notice these things that, may turn a customer off or may not bring that customer back. And if they're giving you that feedback, if they're willing to give it, you got to be willing to listen and you have to be willing to take it in a constructive way. It's not personal. That's just how they feel about the situation. It should be personal to you. You should take it in some type because this is your business. If somebody gives you a negative review, any type of negative feedback on your business, and you don't feel some type of way about it, maybe that's not the business for you. Because you should feel like your business is as much of an extension of you as anything else you have in your life. You know what I mean? Like if you're really going to want to make that business successful, you're going to put all you have into it. And if you're putting all you have into something, when somebody says something bad about it, that's going to make you feel some type of way. You're going to feel bad about it, right? But that's where you have to take it constructively. I'm glad you feel some type of way about it. Now let's figure out how to fix it so that nobody else has that same issue, right? And that's where that's where you have to have that vulnerability a little bit, where you have to be able to take it, you have to be able to listen and try to apply that, to your consumers. Um, Next to that, I mean, continue to have a work-life balance. A lot of times when we get into business and we get into our own business, you're literally working 24/7. You're always thinking about it. I'm going to get online and make that last post at 10 o'clock at night or whatever. Or you find yourself on Facebook on the computer or Twitter or whatnot, I'm going to send one more post. And you find yourself consistently working all the time. And you're putting a lot of time and you're putting a lot of effort into it, but you never can just sit back and just kind of take a look and see what it is or see what's going on. Or even just take a break. Continue to have that balance. Um, that's good for just your mental health. Like it's good to be all about your business. That's what you want. But you can't have it consume you to the point where you're not enjoying the rewards of your business. You know what I mean? The fact that we want to be entrepreneurs, we want to start our own business or anything else. I feel like a lot of the people, and correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of us feel the same type of way. I'm not trying to work for anybody. I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it, and I want to have, what's the word I'm looking for? I want to have a better quality of life, right? And you start the business because those are the goals, and you get so ingrained into the business, you stop forgetting about your quality of life, taking that little break, taking that time off, spending that extra day with the kids, spending that time with the wife, whatever it is. Continue to do that. That's going to keep you balanced. It's going to keep you sane, and it's going to keep that drive, because what it's going to do is it's going to remind you why you're doing it. You know what I mean? When you have those times when you're out with the family and you get to do whatever it is that you want to do on that weekend day, and you're just sitting back and you get to see it all happen, and you sit there and you're all like, yeah, this is why I'm doing it. This is why, uh, this is what I'm working for. So I can have moments like this. So I can just, be able to go out and do what I need to do on my own dime and not have to worry about PTO, or am I going to get in trouble when I get back to work, or whatever else people are going on in corporate America. Um, that's not what you want, but you need that work-life balance. You need to be paying attention to your business, of course, but you have to take care of yourself too. If you're not taking care of yourself, that's going to reflect into your business. When you are running in a rut and you are not doing well and you're fatigued, you got too much going on or whatever else, that's going to bleed into your business. You may not realize it. It may be unconsciously, but it's going to bleed into your business some way or another. You're going to give that one person that weird service. You're going to say that one wrong thing to that one person. Next thing you know, you're going to have a couple of reviews come through, and you're going to be like, what's going on? How come people aren't happy or anything else? And if it's your business and you're not happy, the business isn't going to be happy, right? So it all just kind of goes together, and you're putting yourself into it. So if you're not happy, the business isn't going to grow. It's not going to be good. You got to keep yourself in a good place, in a good mindset. Um, so that work-life balance, that's big for me. I'm all about work-life balance. I love to play hard, but I know I work hard, but I definitely love to play hard. So that's something that will always be there. So work-life balance is huge, but to kind of sum up everything, there's a lot that goes into maintaining your business, really starting it up. Um, more things that I can even go over. Just a few things. There's just things that I've learned over time. I've learned in trying my hand in the couple of business that I did and failed. And I'm hoping that I can take all that and put it into this business I'm doing now and succeed. Um, but if I can leave you guys with anything, is don't don't give up. Like I know it's hard, and I'm sure you've heard it a million times over, and I'm sure you've heard a lot of the things that both Sheena and myself have talked about a lot. But think about it. If you've heard it a lot and a lot of people keep talking about it, it must mean it must work in some way or another. These things work, and they do. And that's the thing. You hear about them all the time, and they sound like, oh yeah, I've heard that. But yeah, they always say that all the time or whatever else. Well, I mean, if enough people are saying it, there's got to be something to it. These things do work. So it's not so much that we're trying to put lip service to it or anything, but um, don't give up. Don't give up at all. Like, keep pushing, go through the hard times. If you got to go into your little corner and cry, do it. I've done it. I've had the tears. It happens. You just have that moment of, oh, have the moment. Take your 5 minutes, oh, and then, okay. and then let's figure out a solution, come up with a plan, and then attack it head on. And that's all I can say. Thank you guys for your time.
And I
Thank
just want to piggyback off of some stuff Daniel said before you go, Marilyn.
you. Yeah.
Like-minded people, guys. You have to surround yourself with like-minded people. If I'm not even gonna lie, I've cut so many people off because they just don't get it. They don't get it. It could be your best friend. So if you surround yourself around business-minded people, because it makes a huge difference. You cannot talk business with someone who doesn't understand, who doesn't want it for themselves. Let them keep working a 9 to 5. It's a big difference. And then another thing, just like I was looking at some of the people in here, I don't know if she's still on here, Shanae, I think she's gone, but the young lady, she was just cooking while we were on here. YouTube, guys, is such a big thing. If you have a business, have a YouTube channel. You can post anything on YouTube today. It's 2021 with this coronavirus. Everyone's just on YouTube, looking on YouTube for different stuff. You could get a check. I mean, my checks aren't huge. I get like maybe 250 every month or something just for posting videos. I'm gonna post anyway. Use YouTube. It's another income. You can post anything. Literally, people post anything on there. It's crazy the way that social media is just such a big platform today. So use it, and like he said, don't give up. Yeah, don't give up. It's hard, but it's gonna happen. I wouldn't lie to you. Trust me. I would not lie to you guys. It really does work. You might hear it all the time, but just be consistent. Be consistent and be consistent. All day, every day. Promote
Spot on.
yourself. You are your billboard. When you go out, wear your brand. People are gonna have your cars. You are your brand. So promote yourself. Promote yourself. It's gonna happen. That's all.
Spot
That was
on.
great.
Beautiful. No, that's great. You're
Uh,
right on.
Thank you guys so much. I do want to ask Danny though, because you did bring up like the change in the business, and you did go back to work for somebody at some points, and like as a business owner, those are realities that we have to face, right? Because businesses are not always going to be great. It's not always going to be perfect. And I think that, when you look on social media and you see what other people are doing, they're not posting, oh, yeah, I got a job today. You know what I mean? They're not telling you that part. You're not seeing that part of their journey, but it is a reality that we use different ways to make income or learn or to grow. You want to go to a company to learn how to do certain things that are new to you or whatever. How was that in your pivot, and like what like, you don't have to give exact details, but where was your mindset when you did those pivots?
Um, so my mindset has been pretty much it's steady all the time. I have to make sure my family's taken care of. Like that's my thing. I have a wife, I got 3 kids. So that's my motivation, that's my goal, that's my focus is I have to have them taken care of no matter what. And when my second business, when we decided that we were just going to go ahead and part ways and everything else, so I was kind of left in a, oh no, what do I do? Right. So I took my 5 minutes, and then I just I just came up with a plan. I was like, all right, well, I can't just sit around jobless. Even if I have to go get a job, it is what it is. I got to do something for now because I need something to bring in so that can help me do something else. As I was doing that, I came across a nice little program that let me go back to school so I can get that certificate. And that's when I just was like, well, it all kind of fit. It just kind of all fell into place. It kind of just fit when it happened. It was like, okay, so can't do this. Oh, look at this opportunity that kind of comes in. And that's kind of how it happens. If you have to keep your eyes, ears open, you have to keep your mind open to what can be. So I just, I was, when it first happened, I wasn't thinking about going back to school. I don't know what the heck I was going to do. And as I was searching for jobs, it just kind of popped up, and okay, let me look into it. I looked into it. It was a good program. I was able to get it where I was able to go to school and not have to pay for it. Um, but it's just my mindset is always, I need to take care of my family, and I'll do whatever I need to do that. And so, yep, I had to go back and start at square one. Yep, I had to go back and get into the corporate America life, and that's okay, because that's helping me feed into this third business now that I'm doing. So I got my certificate, I got all that done. Now I'm trying to kind of funnel this money that I'm getting into and putting things together for my business. And it's small right now. I'm still doing word of mouth and just my little page here and going from my person to person, but um, it's giving me it's giving me good perspective on continuing my entrepreneurship. I'll tell you that, because going back to the corporate world with all the rules that they have and all the structure that needs to be there, the having to request time off, and maybe you don't have enough hours or something like that, or having conversations with the supervisor who may or may not know what they're talking about. It's different, it's weird, and it just gives me more drive to get out of it. So it definitely helped into affirming my entrepreneurship. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I got back to corporate America. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I can deal with this. No, I got back in. I was like, nah, this isn't for me. I've gotten too used to not doing this, so I need to figure out a way to get back to not doing this. So that's how I feel about it.
So kind of like a motivation in a way to get
Very
back
much so,
to be.
to
Yeah.
get back to working for me, because working for the other man is not cool. When the other man is setting the rules, that's not fun. I like to set my own rules. So
Hey,
it gives me
Danny.
that motivation. Yes. Hey.
Hey, you said something that's you. I think you said it was a setback. You said something about that, like you had to go back. It was a setback to go back to
Oh yeah, it was to get back into corporate America. Definitely.
right.
Yep.
And then when you went back, you did like the course, right?
Yeah, I took my A plus while I was
So
going back
was
to.
it really a setback? Because if you never would have went back, you never would have got the course. You never would have been doing
Oh, I
that.
guess that's fair. Yeah. No, and that's how I
So
kind of.
I
So
think that was like a stepping stone. It's really not a setback. That was another stepping stone to get you where you needed to go.
and that's the kind of mindset that you have to keep, right? So that's where it's at, and you get it. And thank you so much for sharing that, because that's the point, right? So it's like,
Right.
when you look at everything as your opportunities, you're learning from everything, then that's kind of how it is. And that's how I kind of felt, like it all kind of fell into place. Like, that didn't work out, but oh, all of a sudden this kind of just popped on, and I was like, all right, well, I would have never thought of it before if everything was still going well, but this, it kind of
Right.
just fell into my lap. But yeah, how you see it as an opportunity, that's exactly it. Like, and that's the same mindset you have to keep. And so I love hearing it. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm sorry, what is that?
Shahara.
Shahara, there you go. Thank you so much, Shahara. Thank you for sharing. That's awesome. No, yeah, that's the mindset you got to keep.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're spot on. And I'm sorry, I didn't even acknowledge it. If anybody has any questions or anything, please launch them at me, throw them, whatever. It's all good. Um, but yeah, kind of like that mindset that Shara has. It's looking at everything as an opportunity. So even though you're gonna fail, and I failed a couple of times, and that's fine, but you have to learn from those. And it's either winning or learning, right? So you try to take the word fail out of it. So you're gonna win. If you're not gonna win, then you're gonna learn how to win. You're gonna learn what the other person did to win, and you're gonna be like, all right, well, I figure I can do that. I'm gonna go, and now I'm gonna win, and you're gonna win.
And each
Exactly.
story I feel like is when you hear everybody's story on where they were, where they're going, um, where they are now, everybody is all different. If we're not technically, and I say this, like when we say we want to be at that successful state, everybody is different. Because my successful state could be, I want to make $5,000 a month. Your successful state could be, I want to be a millionaire.
Right.
And that,
Mhm.
like, that's your cap. Like, oh, I made it, I'm here, you know? So everybody's just at a different level. And some people are still gonna work a 9 to 5
Mhm.
and still have
Absolutely.
their business on the side to, because they like working or whatever the case may be.
Right. Yeah. No, you're spot on. Success is different for everyone, and how they gauge their success. Um, but it's just having that. and you kind of remind me, it's just having those drives and those goals. That's another thing too, right? Like you've got to have some sort of goals, something tangible, something that you're reaching for. Even if you just write it down, put it on your phone as a screensaver or something you could look at every day, whatever it is, let yourself know that what you're always moving towards, so that
Mm.
every action you take every day is going towards that goal. When you look at that goal, okay, this is where I'm trying to get to. What are you going to do today to try to get there? And that's another thing. So thank you for bringing that up, because that just popped that into my head, and that's another great point.
And I do want to piggyback off that. We did just do our vision board kit or our vision board meeting where, you put your board, like whether it's on your phone, on the wall, it's,
Yes.
on your computer screen, wherever it is that you have that. It doesn't have to be something where, if you're not crafty, you don't want to sit down and do it. You just write down a whole bunch of things like Danny said and put it on your screensaver, your phone, computer, whatever, just as long as it's something that you're looking at every single day. Like mine is literally on my wall next to my light that I switch on when I go in my bedroom. That way I can see it every time I walk in there. And it's really important, like Danny said, that you see that all the time, because when you get discouraged, when you're having a bad day, you got to remember what it is that you're working towards. So,
Mhm. Yeah, that's good, guys.
yeah, you guys are very inspiring. Thank you guys so much for coming on to speak with us today.
Of
The other
course.
things that I kind of wanted to touch on, I was taking notes as you guys were speaking because there was so much good information. And I know that Sheena had said she doesn't ask for reviews, they come to her, right? But I did
Mm.
want to piggyback off that and just say that it's okay to ask for them.
Oh yeah, it's okay to ask for
Yeah.
sure. Yes.
Like Danny said, you have to have that rapport with them, right? With your customer.
Hmm.
If you have that rapport, then just say, hey, can you write me a review? Or how did
Yes.
you like it? Not even, can you write me a review, but how did you like the product? And you can screenshot that and share it later. So just in asking those questions, remembering that it's okay to, or I'm working on how to better the company, I'm working on how to better the product. What is it that you liked and didn't like? Questions like that. And then people will see that and they'll be like, oh my gosh, she really cares. She wanted to know what was going on, or this is what this other person thought. And I think that that's really important too.
Yes, it is.
Marilyn.
Definitely ask, guys.
So I wanted to comment on that about the reviews. So I have a Google business page, and I have some analytical app or something that keeps track of how many views my Google page was getting. And last month, I got so many views. Like people
Mm.
were looking me up, looking me up, looking me up. And the thing that I was lacking was reviews. So I'm
Mm.
talking hundreds of people looking at my Google page, but I wasn't hearing from anybody. And I'm like, maybe it's because I literally have no reviews. And they're like, well,
Yes.
nobody's speaking on her business ethics, so why am I going to reach out to
Mm.
her? We have no
It makes
idea.
a huge
They
difference.
have no idea of how you do your work, what people like about you, and all of that. And I'm like, okay, I need to start asking for reviews and do them. They're happy to do them. So definitely, I would say ask for them without hesitation because it does matter.
Yeah. And I
Yes.
know that some businesses, it depends on your business, obviously, but some businesses do give like, I'll give you a discount on your next product if you give a review on like a certain platform, if you're like trying to push like
Hmm.
Google reviews or something like that. And that's an idea. It also will give you a sale because not only will you give them a percentage off, but they're going to buy another product, right?
Exactly.
So there's different ways to go about it, but just remembering it's okay to put yourself out there. It's okay to ask for those things. It's okay to try and get a sale in a different way too. And so that was the other thing I kind of wanted to touch on, is Danny was saying you have to put yourself out there, and you've got to, and Sheena was even saying You got to put yourself on social media. You got to keep at it. And it's so important because I feel like Danny was saying, your business is an extension of you, right? So you feel like you don't want to fail, right? For a lack of a better word, you don't want to fail. That's always inside of you, I feel like, as an entrepreneur. And so you sometimes struggle with putting yourself out there, but you cannot succeed unless you do. So
Mhm.
that is something I feel like is really important. And I really like that you guys touched on that collaboratively, that it's okay to put yourself out there. It's okay to trust that what you're putting out there is good. Um, and own that. So
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing that you take when you decide that you want to try to venture into entrepreneurship is the risk. You're already taking the biggest risk by deciding that you want to try to work for yourself and start an own business. Everything after that should seem minuscule to that.
Mhm.
Like the biggest risk you're taking is deciding like, hey, I'm going to start a business and now I'm going to put all my time and resources in trying to start this business. That's a huge risk already. You're taking a huge risk. And if you're comfortable with that risk, then become become comfortable with everything else, because everything else after that is easy. You've done the big thing. You decided that I'm going to do it. I'm going to start this business. That's the big man. It takes I can't even say, it takes a lot to just be like, all right, I'm going to start this business. Like it's not an easy thing to even want to decide to do. And if you decide that you're already going to take that risk, you've already invested into your risk, then man, you already did the hard part. Everything else after that shouldn't feel too bad. Don't be afraid about the
Easy.
rejection. Don't be afraid about any of that stuff. That's all, man. That's all light work because you guys already did the hard work. You decided to take the leap. You're already in the air. Now you just got to learn how to fly. You're straight. You'll be fine.
Right. Yeah. And don't be afraid, guys, to give stuff away for free. People tell me all the time I'm crazy. It's all about, I'm really big on marketing. Give things away for free. When people buy my hair, I send free eyelashes with it. They're so happy. People love free stuff. So don't be afraid to give someone something free, because that whatever you gave away free is nothing compared to the sales that you're going to get from that person. I have so many recurrent customers that tell their mom, that tell their friends. It's going to happen. Just you find creative ways of doing things and selling your product. That's it. But just put yourself in someone else's shoes for when you're buying stuff yourself. It really does work.
I
Yeah,
like
like you said that. Because I was
because
just at a Chris. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
there's this lady who I buy lotion from, and she puts extra lotion in my thing, and I always give it to somebody else. And so that's like free
So we
advertisement for her because I
Yeah.
love the lotion, right? So
Hmm.
I was just at a
Yeah.
crystal shop, and before they gave me, like, I think a free incense. Literally, it was like, "Where's that incense? I need that incense." So
Yes.
even with
It's
my
all
product, I was
marketing.
like thinking, I was like, okay, what's that one free thing I want to put in there? And I was juggling between two items, and I was just like, well, let me just do both. But one thing I will say, Raesheena, I don't know why I want to call you Sheena.
You can call me Sheena.
So what you said and what Chanel said, I think websites are very key. Back in 2009, and then
Mhm.
fast forward it to now, my first thing that I did was with my business was start a website. Number one, I
Good.
needed it because I do makeup and hair, so I needed something visual, and Instagram was not it. There was no Instagram.
Yeah.
So that was our portfolio per se. So that is something. But when I see it now, talking about what Chanel says, my analytics when it comes to how many people see a website, and for me, if I was to go and buy a product from somebody, like Etsy is not doing it for me right now. Like
Hmm.
there's this girl that I love her candles, and I'm jumping from Instagram to Etsy to, and then it's blocking me, and I'm like, I'm over it. I'm done. I'm done. People want it to be instant. Like if I'm on TikTok, I click your link, boom, I'm buying it. So I feel like you lose sales doing that. You lose sales, people wanting to, hey, where's your product, or how can I get it? And if you would have had the website up, you
Yes.
probably would have had triple
Oh,
your
yes.
sales versus people just reaching out to you saying, "Oh, hey, where's that product at?"
Yeah.
And then you would have saw the analytics and then you would have saw the websites that were like the email addresses that were coming in. So now taking from 2009 and seeing all the like email addresses and people that I have, if I didn't have that back then, I couldn't start what
Mhm.
I'm doing right now with having like a product. I feel like it's like your core, it's like your
Yes.
baby, like you need that.
Hmm. That's correct. She's right. Have a website if you can. I just didn't I had the
She was
YouTube
like,
channel, so I thought, I was just starting out. I should have had a website way before. I just didn't know how to make one. I didn't
no,
even,
yeah.
know where to go to look for one. It's a huge thing. There's
Now
so many people that hit me up. Yeah.
it's totally different. I think now when I hear when I hear both of you talk and I look back in 2008, 2009, I'm like, why wasn't it that hard for me? It's hard now. I feel like business owners because you have TikTok, you have Instagram, you have
Hmm.
Twitter, you have all these other social medias that you're like, "Oh my god, where am I going to start?" I didn't
Yeah.
have that. I just had a website and Google and that's it. And then everything else fell into place. But now I'm like, I'm even like, I'm scared. Like, I don't even, you have so all these
Don't
different
be scared.
platforms that you're just like, what? How do you
Don't be
record
scared.
yourself? Like on TikTok, I'm like, how do you record yourself? I'm old.
But what I
Yeah,
will
I hear you.
say
Don't
though,
be scared though.
don't start a website, a a paid website until you're ready to
Mhm.
start a paid website. We
Hmm.
all have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
You can get a
Right.
Google My Business and have a Google website for free. You don't have to jump into paying $400 for a year for a host. You don't have to do that. Because I do websites, it's you have people come to you and they're like, "Oh, well, I have this much money." And you're like, "Okay, I want to help you, right? But I don't want to put you together a website with this much money and then 2 months from now you can't pay that bill because that money wasn't coming in on your business." That's not shade, that's not me being mean or anything like that. It's being real. Your business should be paying for that site, right? And
Mhm.
so you have to keep that mindset too, is that don't bite off more than you can chew. You're going to hear so much on the internet about the things that you need to do. Make sure you're doing what you can do. The other piece of advice that I'll give, and it's something I've heard from a lot of my marketing professionals, is that it's okay to start with one social media site. Post
Mhm.
on that one social media site. Get a following there first. You don't have to post across the board. Get consistent with one first and keep going.
Mhm.
Facebook is probably one of the best ones as far as Facebook and Instagram because you can post on both of them at the same time. And Facebook has more of a reach. TikTok actually is probably one of the best ones in regards to algorithms because there is no algorithm.
Mhm.
But you have to also cater to your audience. So going into what kind of audience do you have? What is your demographic? If your demographic is 65 and up, that might not be TikTok might not be for you. You know what I'm not saying they're not on there. I'm not. I'm just saying it might not be for your business as where you should start. So keep that in mind too as to all right, well if I'm going to start with one, which one would be best for my audience? Where am I going to find the most people? But don't overwhelm yourself by like, "Oh my god, I got to do all of this right now." You don't. You don't. Start somewhere.
Raesheena,
Yeah.
I had a question.
Yeah.
What with your tracking information? Because I love how you did that. I'm a go
Mhm.
above and beyond person myself.
Yes.
So I love that you, especially now in this time where you're sending something to someone and they're
Mhm.
like, "Where is it?" What
Right.
what what do you use? Do you just use like
No.
whatever?
So when I mail my stuff out, if I'm
Mhm.
not doing, because I do drop shipping as well. I don't know if you guys are
Okay.
familiar with drop shipping, but
Yep. Yep.
when I have the product on hand, I use the post office
Okay.
USPS. But when
Mhm.
I have it drop shipped from my vendor directly to the customer, she
Mhm.
uses FedEx and DHL. So if
Okay.
you go to the post, I mean, it's been days, guys. This is why I say when Daniel was saying you work all day, you work all day. I have people that contact me at 1 o'clock in the morning. I wake up sometimes, I have money in my PayPal. I don't even know who it came from because people are just like, it's always consistent. It's the all day thing. It's been days that I've went to the post office maybe 5 times because just like you're saying, I like to get my customer. I don't want my customer waiting days to get their product. If you order today, I'm gonna ship it out today. If not today,
Mhm.
at least by tomorrow. So
Mhm.
when you take it to USPS, I just send them a screenshot. I'll just take a
Okay.
picture of the receipt and send it right over to them. And the reason I do it that way is because when you type out, if you have to type out the tracking number, it's like 16 or 19 digits.
Yeah,
I
if it's
just don't ever
wrong.
want any confusion. Yeah, and I don't want it to be confused or wrong because people are looking for their product. Trust me, I got a girl right now. She ordered she ordered something from me like last week and she's messaging me every day. It's not moving, it's not moving. I'm like, honey, you have to wait. It's 5 to 10 days. It's only been 3 days. So make sure you take pictures of everything. Don't try to type it in yourself. Just take a picture, send it to your customer, and then when you have time out of your day, probably I do it at the end of the night when I'm done with
Mhm.
everything else and I'm winding down. I just go and check the status, and if I see it's updated, then I'll just screenshot it. Hey, it's gonna be there on Tuesday, or just to let them know you care and you
Yeah.
actually are still thinking about them. That I'm telling you, the customer
Good.
service part is so important,
Yeah.
so important. Out of all this time I've been doing this, I might have, and I'm being honest with you guys, maybe one person that had an issue. Maybe one person, because when people don't like something or I do, or people want to complain about something, I make it right. I've gave people discounts. I've sometimes if shipping, let's say it was an issue with shipping, and a lot of people feel like, oh, they can't control shipping, which we can't. But if you want that customer to come back, you have to understand, if their shipment gets lost in the mail or something like that, what can I do for you? Okay, let's reorder it. I'll give it to you half off. You have to come up with creative, especially if you know it's a good customer. You're
Mhm.
gonna know who your good customers are and who a bad customer is or whatever. Someone who's complaining all the time. I had those before too. But if you have a good customer and an issue arises, find a way to make it right so that customer will come back. Because I've had issues. I can't control if they don't get their package. I've had somebody who ordered something, it came DHL. DHL most of the time makes you sign for it. This
Mhm.
time they left it on a person's porch and it got stolen. Okay, I didn't steal it, but I still got that customer another item, at a discounted rate. So we got to find creative ways to help the customer when not losing money at the same time. You still want to be profitable, of course. But just do little things to kind of make people happy. They understand it, they understand. So customer service is so freaking important, and keeping up with that tracking information, make sure you keep them up to date with it. That's all. It makes a huge difference. And they're gonna tell you that, oh, I love your customer service. I get people to say it
Mhm.
all the time. You're so great. Thank you. So it's huge, guys. It really is.
Well, I will take that to close out the night, but I wanted to say thank you to everybody who joined today because this was the first meeting in 2021. And I am so glad it was great. I feel inspired. So I am really grateful for you guys. And I just want to make sure nobody has any questions before we close out. Um, Next month we will be talking about patents. We will also be talking about something else. I did want to say that in May we are having some marketing professionals come in to talk about marketing, digital marketing, and everything like that. Give us basically the things that we don't know that we wish we knew. They'll be
Mhm.
coming in to talk to us about those. So if you haven't yet signed up for that, I would definitely sign up for it. And that's it, guys.
Yes, guys. Good luck. I wish everyone nothing but success. Just keep it going. Don't lose hope, and just be consistent.
Always, don't give up. Don't give
Yeah.
up. Just don't give up. Keep pushing. It'll happen. Just keep pushing. Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you,
Keep
guys.
pushing.
Thank you.
Bye.